All right, man, we're going to win this race. Hey, does the king have enough of a draw to dethrone Jurassic World Dominion from the top spot at the box office, or will it be a masked villain? Greg Russell joins us for this week's Real Talk. Speaking of masked villains. Hey, Greg.
How you doing? Good to see you.
The first movie is Elvis,
yes, sir,
starring Austin Butler in the title role, and Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker, and he's doing a weird accent, and this is directed by Baz Luhrmann. His movies, of course, can be a little bit different.
Yep, absolutely.
So what are we expecting from this?
This one actually is good because, speaking of which, the kid who plays Elvis, gotta give him credit. He looks like him, looks similar, but they didn't make him up to be Elvis. And even
so you just kind of have to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, but you believe it. And also with his voice. He's not doing a character voice of Elvis, but the way he makes it sound and work, it's perfect.
All right, let's look.
I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley. I believe I can be great.
Some people wanted to put me in jail.
So well's moving.
Don't so much as wiggle a finger.
I'm gonna show you what the real Elvis is like tonight.
In that moment, Elvis the man was sacrificed. And Elvis the God was born.
Okay, so first of all, how many reels?
4.
And is there any explanation why Tom Hanks is doing some sort of weird Dutch accent?
As it turns out, I guess Colonel Tom Parker, you know, because everybody wanted to be a colonel because it made him sound really great being in the South back then, wasn't even from this country. You never really find out where he came from. Because even at the end, he said, well, you can't take me or sue me because I'm not a citizen of this country or this world. So no one really knows where he came from.
So is that Tom Hanks just kind of going like, hey, Baz, I'm going to do this accent, and Baz Luhrmann, the director's like, okay, go for it. You're Tom Hanks.
I guess so. But the thing is, Tom Hanks did such a good job, you really wanted to go on screen and punch the crap out of the Colonel.
Right, because of everything he did to Elvis and how he took advantage of him. And
Oh, big time.
All right, next up, a suspense thriller with Ethan Hawke, which introduces a new horror villain to the screen called The Grabber. Tell us about The Black Phone.
Yeah, I mean, this one, it's very suspenseful and quite the thriller. He plays this guy, Ethan Hawke. He wears the mask, you know, kind of like what you see here, and he abducts young men and would hold them captive in his basement, and as soon as he was done, he'd go out and get another one. So the last kid he gets puts him down there, and there's an old-fashioned, like those black phones like your grandma used to have probably on her wall, and it would start ringing. And it would all of a sudden be the spirits of these other kids trying to help this one out.
Oh, wow, that's a neat premise. Let's take a look at a clip.
Someone's coming. I'll scream. If someone's upstairs, they'll hear me.
With the door shut, no one can hear anything down here. I soundproofed it myself. So shout if you like, you won't bother anyone.
If you try to touch me, I'll scratch your face. And whoever's coming will see and ask why.
This face?
Oh, oh, that's creepy. How many reels?
A definite 3.5, headed to 4. I mean, because it's very suspenseful. But you know what the scariest part is, Jason?
What?
All takes place in his character's basement. That's where all this...
This is like the basement in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke was in my basement 3 times over the past 2 years. Now I got to go home and check my basement. Because now I'm scared.
All right, and just so you all know, you never know when you're going to run into Greg at the theater. Here's a photo taken by viewer Gail Kaneki, who saw Greg at a screening of The Black Phone and said that Greg is the nicest man.
Gail, thank you so much. And you are the nicest lady, and your son was great. It was just so much fun running into them. She enjoyed the movie. She thought it was very suspenseful as well.
You and I have been doing this for 6 years. I don't think I've ever seen you give something what would be called a scathing or really bad review. Can you think of something that you ever gave 1 or 2 stars to on this show?
I wish I could remember now the name of the movie, but it starred Selma Hayek and John Lithgow. And it was a deal where it was just because her character irritated me so much. She was a guest at a party.
Yeah.
And John Lithgow's character showed up, and she just didn't like him because of something he did towards her country. And she just started yelling at him at the party, and it's like, you're not at your house. So it's just...
Wow, we're going to have to find out what this movie is.
I will.
All right, where can people see more of your interviews?
Check things out at movieshowplus.com. You can go there. You can check out all the interviews. Plus, sign up for our blog and that also puts you then in the running for any of the prizes that we may be giving away. Anything
Your
like
swag.
T-shirt. That's right.
All right, Greg.
Our
Good
swag,
to see you.
always a pleasure.
Boom. How does that grab you?
Like Ethan Hawke in a basement.